He could be the next Conor McGregor star.
I want that world title. All laugh all you want and say I'll never be champ. You gang of mushrooms.
Like that kind of a star where the whole
He
world's
has
watching.
that weird personality.
Yes.
Yeah, he has that.
Well, he's very disarming because people, they see, I talked about this in the last pay-per-view. I said it's a very sneaky trick because guys like you look at you, the way you carry yourself, the way you, that's a fighter. Like you look at that guy's a dangerous motherfucker. But when you see Paddy, he's dancing like this, his hair is flopping around like he's in the Beatles.
Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje has officially become one of the most polarizing matchups the lightweight division has seen in years. And the MMA world is completely divided on how this fight will actually play out. On one side, you have Paddy Pimblett, the undefeated hype train, massive star power, sky-high confidence, and a fighter who truly believes he's about to shock the world. Paddy has been vocal about this being his moment, the fight where he proves he's not just a personality or a fan favorite, but a real contender who deserves to be mentioned alongside the elite.
I expect the war, obviously. Like, Justin Gaethje is one of my favourite fighters to watch. He's your favourite fighter's favourite fighter, and it's going to be a pleasure to get in there with him. I'd love to have a brawl for 5 rounds. As he said, him versus Michael Johnson, how he introduced himself to the UFC. I'd love to have a fight like that, but I don't think it'll pan out that way. But let's see what happens. Hopefully, I'm getting a performance bonus and a fight of the night bonus.
Rumors have been swirling that Justin Gaethje is injured. A few videos have surfaced of him diving and cracking heads with someone, which wobbled him bad. Do you have any inside information? Have you not heard of this? Okay, actually, I got to be honest. I thought you guys were talking about. I thought he was going to ask about. I saw a bunch of pictures about this thing.
Up though, right?
Yeah. The ingrown hair is what he's claiming.
Okay, right.
Ingrown hair and a bit of brisket. Yeah.
Brisket.
Yeah, a little brisket on the chin.
Because they said he had herpes on his mouth. He's like, I was eating brisket and I had an ingrown hair.
If that is an ingrown hair, that's the gnarliest ingrown hair I've ever seen. That makes like a little red dot on your neck if it's an ingrown hair. He had a crater in his neck. I don't know about
By the way, could you imagine, just for a moment, do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
I do know
exactly where you're going.
Enter Armin.
Yes.
Enter Armin.
Yes, it's time. Now, is Armin ready is the thing.
Nobody walks out
of those videos.
No,
I'm like, oh, fuck. Enter Armin.
Enter Armin. Walking out there eating a fucking turkey leg. I mean, come on.
100 years. How does it feel to be the Paramount debut? Is it like a bit of a, they like you? Is it a bit of an honor, or you don't really give a shit about that type of thing?
It is a little bit of an honour, like, obviously, because they trust me with putting on a good show for the first main event in the Paramount era, but it's all about the title, lad. It's all about winning this interim belt. They wouldn't care if I was opening up the main card, lad. As long as I'm fighting for this belt, lad, it's all that matters.
Nice. All right then. This is a big matchup. We've come a long way, Paddy. We've come a long way from Luigi Vendramini to Justin Gaethje. Is there any surrealness to it? Like you're actually fighting this guy that you probably, I would imagine, was watching before you even got into the UFC. This is fucking Justin, the highlight reel. Gaethje over here. Like.
Lad, I can remember watching him fight Nick Newell, lad, the fellow with one arm before he was even in the UFC. You know what I mean? I can remember my teammate, who's now my coach, Adam Ventry, telling me, you need to watch this Justin Gaethje, lad, he's unbelievable. And I watched him and was like, oh my God, he's sick. So when he had his debut against Michael Johnson, I can remember watching that live, just thinking, wow, this fella can bang. But, that's the position that you get into in this sport, lad. You've got to end up fighting your heroes or you're in the wrong game.
Yeah. You've been in this position before against Tony Ferguson. When you're in the cage, it's completely locked in. But is there a moment where you're thinking, like, fucking hell, this is Tony Ferguson, lad? Is there any,
You think that before it, like, but when you're in the cage, that's it. I'm just looking at him thinking, you're trying to stop my dreams. You're trying to take food out of my kid's mouth, so I'm going to iron you out.
And on the other side, you've got Justin Gaethje, one of the most violent, battle-tested lightweights the sport has ever produced. A man who doesn't blink, doesn't back up, and doesn't care how ugly a fight gets. This is a guy who has gone to war with the very best and who thrives when chaos breaks out. Stylistically, that's where the real debate begins. A lot of analysts, including Michael Bisping, have pointed out that this matchup could become extremely dangerous for Paddy if it turns into a straight fight. Gaethje's leg kicks, pressure, and ability to drag opponents into uncomfortable exchanges could completely disrupt Paddy's rhythm if Justin starts chopping the legs early and forcing Paddy to fight while moving backward. This could get ugly fast. But that's not the whole story. Joe Rogan and several others have highlighted something people keep overlooking.
Of course. Big fights coming up. How do you see yourself getting it done against Gaethje? Of course, he's had a lot of battles. There's a lot of fight tape to watch on him, to say the least. He's had a bunch of scraps. He's got finishes. He's been finishes. How do you see yourself getting it done? Because he hasn't really fought a guy like... I mean, you're a bit of an Oliveira, but... You know what I mean? It's a new style for him. You're not just the typical up-and-coming scrapper brawler that's going to get into a fun scrap with Gaethje. There's more intricacies to your game with the grappling as well. So how do you think you're going to get this one done?
I think I finish him wherever the fight goes, to be honest. Obviously, I know he can bang, but every fight we get a breakdown made of our opponent, and it actually shocks me how much he gets hit. And I know he takes one to give one, but you can't really just do that at this level. That's why he's lost to people like Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, Charles, because you can't just take one to give one, and I'm not going to just be standing there to let him hit me back. You know what I mean? So be using me range, keeping him on the outside, and I've got a feeling I'm going to knock him out, to be honest. I don't know what it is. I've just got a sneaky suspicion I'm going to knock him out. You know, I've been doing a lot of rounds with Luke Riley for this camp, and Luke's got much better technical striking than Justin Gaethje, and I'm having a lot of success sparring with Luke. And obviously one of my coaches, Ellis, who used to fight himself, he's the exact same build as Justin. He's 5'10" with a 70-inch reach, and I've been doing rounds with him. He's literally, because he doesn't fight anymore, lad, and he's just a coach, he's just done Justin's style for me. He hasn't got his own style. He's been doing Justin for me, and just the bits what we're working, I can see me knocking him out or dropping him and then submitting him. People are going on about his takedown defense, but if I want to take him down, I will take him down, lad. Simple as. But I can see myself dropping him, ending up on top, and either TKOing him or submitting him or TKOing him a ground and pound.
Nice. That's the prediction I got. You mentioned Luke Riley there. I was going to save this bit of a segue later into the interview, but fucking what a KO in his debut. I was talking about Luke Riley fucking a few years before he got into the UFC. I keep telling people to look out for these guys on the regional scene, especially at Next Gen. They got a lot of up-and-comers. I know you got George Staines there as well, the fucking Elon Musk of MMA.
Elon Musk of MMA.
Yeah, he's you know, not the billionaire thing, but that build's unique.
Yeah.
I just had the coolest story, and I heard this yesterday, and I didn't bring it to you because I didn't believe it. I had to confirm it. So Paddy the Baddy just got beat. Paddy the Baddy, as a matter of fact, got submitted. Do you guys even know what I'm talking about? So there's something that goes on in England. This is Paddy's gym. Paddy enters this thing every year. It's called something. And then they have a King of the Mat. It's a grappling tournament, but they have this thing, this King of the Mat. Paddy was in the finals a year ago, and after an hour, they just stopped the match and called it a draw. So he was a co-champion. So whatever this thing is, it's a thing that matters to him. So he enters it, I guess, over the weekend. I guess. And he ends up getting beat. Now, one of the reasons it's so cool is I don't think you have heard about it. One of the reasons I think it's so cool is there's no other sport where this would happen. One of the reasons I think it's so cool is it doesn't matter. And that's one cool thing about our community. Like, if a guy like Paddy wants to go out there and take a risk and do something like this, he can chalk that up to a tremendous victory. He can also chalk that up to a workout. And you know what? We need to keep it that way. It's one thing that we have done very well as a group, and there's no other sport that's like that. You will never hear of a time that LeBron drops in for a one-on-one with the college star. He just couldn't take the risk. He just simply could not take the risk. This happened when I was a kid. It was to John McEnroe in Oregon. This was before the internet was a thing, but John McEnroe came out and he played somebody. We had some high school star down in, it was down in Eastern Oregon. I want to say maybe Pendleton. At any rate, the guy beat him. Our high school star beat McEnroe, and this was a thing. This was a thing. But it's one of these reasons why you can't ever get that. Like, you are left to believe that the NBA is better than the NCAA. You're led to believe the NFL is better than college football. I'm sure you're right, but there's exceptions, and there's certain positions at certain times where there are exceptions. You will never know. Those guys will never take the risk. They will never take to the field. They will never take to a three-point stance and go, they'll just never do it. On the outside chance that somebody's filming and somebody puts it, it's one of those things. And you get guys that love to compete. I mean, I got one resentment towards our sport. One, which is that we only do it 3 times a year. I mean, I can't even tell you the lack of respect that I have for a guy that misses a martial arts fight.
Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett should not be for an interim title. So it was announced that Justin and Paddy will be fighting in January as UFC 324's headliner, and as much as I like this matchup, I have a problem with it being for an interim title. Because champion Ilia Topuria says he won't be fighting in the first quarter of 2026 due to personal reasons, so he expects to make his return around spring. So not only do I think that is not too long enough to warrant an interim title fight, but it also feels wrong to have this fight without Arman Tsarukyan in it. This is a belt for the 3rd best fighter in the division, and honestly, it may not even be for the 3rd best when we consider fighters like Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira. This is something the UFC did to appease Justin, who has basically said he's only fighting for UFC gold, and for Paddy, who the promotion wants to see become a champion. Overall, great fight, and I'm going to side with Paddy on this one as I think Justin is past his best days, but yeah, this should not be for an interim title. But what do you think?
Paddy's grappling. Paddy is not just a brawler. He's slick on the ground, dangerous in scrambles, and extremely opportunistic when opponents make mistakes. If Gaethje gets reckless, if he overcommits or gets pulled into a clinch exchange, suddenly Paddy has real openings to threaten submissions and control the pace. Chael Sonnen has framed this fight as a clash of momentum versus experience. Paddy is rising at full speed with his confidence untouched, while Gaethje has already lived through the highest highs and the lowest lows. Chael's take is simple: if Paddy survives the early storm and doesn't mentally fold under pressure, this fight becomes far more competitive than people expect. And that's why this matchup has the MMA community going crazy. Some fans are convinced Paddy gets walked down and finished inside 2 rounds. Others believe this is the night Gaethje finally runs into someone who can absorb the chaos.
What's up, guys? We're here at the Underground Kings. I'm here with my man, William Finley, Taekwondo world champion. I want to break down UFC 324 on January 24th this month in Vegas. All this month, we're going to be breaking down Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje. Some keys to win for Justin Gaethje. We all know Justin Gaethje. I know personally his calf kick is devastating and changes the tide of every single fight. So on a guy like Paddy Pimblett, this might even be the size difference. Paddy is going to be damn near 200 pounds the night of the fight. I don't think it's going to be this drastic. Will's probably about, what, 220? So about 220. And right now I'm probably 200. So that's 20-pound difference. But I think the keys to Justin's victory, it's one of the main keys, is being able to use this calf kick effectively. So if me and Will are lined up here, the main thing I want Justin to be able to do is I want him to be able to jab and slap and put Paddy Pimblett, put his weight on this leg. I want him to constantly be putting his weight on this leg. So he's going to do that by cutting off this side, jab, slap, and before Paddy could even step, bombing that leg kick there. And if you look, Paddy was doing a great job doing the calf kick against Mike Chandler. He was doing a great job kicking, so he's probably going to return it. But I think in general, if Justin is able to keep bombing this leg kick, I think it's really going to shut Paddy down and be able to nullify a lot of his attacks. You might start seeing him limp. You might start seeing him switch stances. From there, Justin can use the speed of his hands and use his boxing. I think it's much better than Paddy's. I think he's faster, and I think he's cleaner on the inside. I think this calf kick's going to be one of the main things to be able to beat Paddy in this fight.
And flip the script on the ground. There is no middle ground. People either believe Paddy gets exposed, or he pulls off the biggest win of his career. What makes this fight even bigger is what it means afterward. If Paddy wins, he instantly launches himself into the elite conversation. Title eliminators, massive paydays, superstar trajectory confirmed. The division would have no choice but to take him seriously. If Gaethje wins, it reinforces exactly who he is: the gatekeeper to the top, the man who separates hype from reality. Another contender tested, another name added to the list. Either way, this fight reshapes the lightweight division. This isn't just about who's better on paper. It's about pressure, composure, and who breaks first when the fight stops being clean and starts becoming chaotic. Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje isn't a safe fight for either man. And that's exactly why the world can't stop talking about it.